Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas
and Ausra.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ausra.
Let's start episode 563 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. This question was sent by Daniel, and he writes, Hello Vidas and Ausra. I have a question about fingering and practicing in a very slow tempo. If I do the fingering early, I often have to choose another solution when I know the difficult parts better and can play them in a final tempo. So the question is, when is the optimal moment to decide the fingering? Thanks for your all good inspiration. That's a good question, Ausra, right?
Yes, it is a good question.
What I do, I can say first, and then you later share your version. Nowadays, I sit down on the organ bench and I sight read a piece of music. And at the same time, I record or even live stream the video with the camera pointed from the above to the keyboard so that hands, fingers and even pedals would be visible. And once that's done, I submit this video to my team to transcribe the fingering and pedaling for me. So basically what I'm doing is I'm using complete fingering right from the start. What about you?
So it means that you have a very good notion of fingering and feel very self-confident, yes?
Not always, though. Of course, there are some elements which need editing, and I edit them later. But for most of the time, especially early music, it's no problem.
Yes, the same for me with early music. I have pretty good sense of how to finger it automatically. But I remember when I was a student in my early years of organ studies, I realized that it's probably not a good thing to sit down and to write fingering right away after picking up a new piece, because I realized after you spent hours and hours fingering it, and then you practicing, and after some time you see that some of those fingering simply don't work for you, and you have to rewrite it. So what I have done since that time, I would play piece a few times, and only after that I would write down my fingering.
Makes sense. Recently, I've been going to church and practicing well-known pieces, and also at the same time recording them later, but not as a sight reading, but as a finished composition, finished performance, basically, ready to upload on YouTube and any other streaming platform. But it takes for me maybe 10 times to play it slowly and faster and to get ready, and especially If the piece is a little bit harder and faster and longer, then it might take a few more days to do it. But then I suspect my fingering would be maybe a little bit different if I recorded the last take, like at the 10th try or the 20th try or the 40th or 50th try, and then try to notate my fingering based on that video. Make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. And I think, that probably the worst thing you can do to play, each time the same piece with different fingering. That would slow down your progress of improvement. So I guess at some point and quite early in learning the piece, you have to decide finally on what your fingering will be.
Yeah, maybe you can choose, if Daniel, for example, wants to choose something in between that we are doing, right? We are having two opinions. Ausra suggests first to practice a few times and then notate fingering, and I not recommending to do it like myself, write down fingering right from the start, but I'm just sharing what I'm doing because I have that much of experience. So maybe you could do this something in between, right? Maybe play a few times and see if you're comfortable of sitting down and writing down fingering then. Would that be helpful, Ausra?
Yes, I guess everybody has to choose for themselves.
And
what works for one might not work for another one.
Exactly, and it comes with experience. After 5, 10, 20 years, it will take less and less and less time to figure out the right fingering for you. Maybe you can do it right away when you sight read the first time.
Right now, for example, I'm working on piece d'orgue. That Vidas fingered it, and this is probably one of the piece that I took a score with fingers in it.
Vidas
after a very long time, and I noticed that everything is just fine for my right hand, but not everything is just fine for my left hand. So basically, most of the places I ignore the left hand, what it's written in, and create my own fingering.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Think.
Well, okay.
Maybe.
Let's not go there.
Maybe you have one extra finger.
I don't think so.
There are people who have 6 fingers actually.
But I have only 5, so on each hand.
Hannibal Lecter had 6 fingers,
Vidas is in a mood, like you can hear.
Good. So guys, choose what works for you, right? We're sharing what works for us, and probably the right answer will be somewhere in between for each of you. Thanks guys for sending these thoughtful questions. We love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, "The sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your SS courses and all your help."
Robert writes, I found the fingerings, registration ideas, and general comments to be excellent.
John writes, "I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you are there teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor.
Robert writes, "It has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching."
Ron writes, "Hi Vidas and Ausra, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this haha no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Ausra and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward."
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas.
And Ausra from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.